You're listening to Short Inspirations from Ralph. Snakes and Ladders, Part 4. What we're talking about in this podcast series of Snakes and Ladders is the board game where we used to play it as kids. And with snakes, there's a downward progression. You don't want to go onto a snake. But with ladders, you're going up a ladder to a higher number. And in James, the letter of James, he talks about the progression downwards, the snake, towards death and destruction. And what we're saying is there's also a progression upwards, that which God has put us on earth for, the ladder. The word that James uses, he looks at this thing called temptation, then he looks at desire, but the third word he's got there is conceived or conception. It's sort of the next in line. It's what happens after desire. It's something's captured or arrested in the Greek for the word conceived. So it creates a seed, something implanted. So if we look at the upward progression, the ladder, if you like, we could say there is revelation, something put in our hearts, even as a young child, something that's put there from the preaching or reading of the word. It's implanted by God, or even some prophetic word spoken over you that is in tune with the written word. And many of us can think of a time when a word came and changed something in your soul, like I've mentioned in the previous episodes. But when we're looking at the snake side of conception, it's like there is this thing called, for example, unforgiveness. A hurt can lead to a desire to take some sort of revenge. It's enticing to take revenge. I'll show them. They can't do this to me. Then it's conceived, and the Bible talks about a root of bitterness. Hebrews 12:15. See to it that no one falls short of the grace of God, and that no bitter root grows up to cause trouble and defile many. A root is something that is deep down, unseen from the exterior, but has an enormous outcome. And so when you meet people who have a bitterness in their heart, which, by the way, God can heal, you find that you can't see it initially, but then their talk and the way they live, the way they think, revolves around this bitterness and unforgiveness. It's a root. It's deep down. There's other examples in Timothy, for example, 1 Timothy 6:10. It says, "For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil." It's not that money is evil, but the love of money. So it becomes something that's implanted in us. It's conceived. Some people, it says there, eager for money, have wandered from the faith and pierced themselves with many griefs. Wow. In another version, it says, lust for money brings trouble and nothing but trouble. Going down that path or progression, some lose their footing in the faith completely and live to regret it bitterly ever after. On the other hand, we have something birthed by the hand of God, as we've said before. We know it's from God. Why? Because it just doesn't go away. It's a dream. It's the self-talk is something like, this is what I was put on earth for. This is what I was destined to be. And I would encourage you to listen to my previous podcasts on dreams. So may you be a person who finds the ladder in your life and hears from God, and He takes you from one rung to another, and He plants something in your soul. God bless you.